I wanted to chase this guy. I popped my dead silence as well because I'm thinking 10 steps ahead of the enemy. I don't want him to hear my footsteps. I know he's right on my tail. I switched to my combat knife because I know that is going to allow me to run a little bit faster. He's going to be coming around the corner, coming out the door, trying to figure out where I'm going, right? But what I did is I actually went around. I made a big circle, pre-aimed, because I knew exactly where he was going to be. I heard his footsteps. So in that situation, you have to do some really quick thinking. That's something that you're rewind it in this situation right here. So I'm pre-aiming. Look at the minimap. This is what I was talking about. I felt like there's a lag when you call in your UAV. So the opponent is showing up right here behind this corner. Look what's happening in front of me right here. This basically confirms why you got to be patient. You got to not assume. You got to not rush just because you have a UAV up on the minimap. Look at my teammates. One here, and one here. Okay? That leaves this area open. And look, they're capturing A right now. Probability that they're going to be on this area of the map, very high. So we're going to go over some pretty big mistakes that a lot of new players are making in Modern Warfare 2. And we're basically going to be showing you through example of what I'm personally doing and how to do better just by doing simple strategy, using simple tactics, and also utilizing tools given to us in the game. Now, this is a live gameplay that was captured, and I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and break this video down so I can give you guys the opportunity to learn. So with that said, make sure to leave a like on this video if you do enjoy this series where I break down my gameplay, and it gives you guys a chance to like learn something. So make sure you have your notes, pen, paper, whatever you take notes with, because there is going to be a lot to learn here. Also, I went into this match with the intention of holding an area down, holding a zone down, and then just rotating around the map accordingly if needed. So this is going to be very helpful for you guys. Let's go ahead and get started here. So like I said, this is a live gameplay, so that's why you don't see my face cam right now, but yeah, let's just get this thing started. So this general area on farm, I had the overall intention of just holding this area down. Now I'm gonna be pausing here and there frequently throughout the video, so I throw my grenade, right? Because I wanted to, you know, for that off chance of killing him, get him, right? But I noticed I didn't get the kill, so what I did was I quickly went prone. I also healed at the same time. Now, this may be luck, this might not be luck, but I was able to hip fire and get the kill. But the whole point is, you know, when you know that there's an opponent coming after you, just make yourself a harder target to hit. You know, that is exactly why I went prone. So you got to remember there's certain types of movement in this game, and yeah, you know, you got to use it to your advantage. So I see that we're losing C here, so I'm going to go ahead and investigate. So in this situation right here, obviously, I know I don't have my dead silence on, which is what I prefer to use most of the time to keep my footsteps silent. And also, I know that the opponent is likely aware that I'm coming because of my footsteps. And in any case, in any situation, it's best to just go for the flank. It's the easier kill because they unsuspect you, you know, when you're just, you know, doing the obvious. So I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to go to the side and see if I can get a different angle here and surprise this guy. So obviously I didn't get the kill, but the whole point is the principle of what I did is what you should do as well. All right, so again, I am patrolling this zone of the map. Let's call it a lane, okay? We're gonna call this like lane number 3, I guess. So lane number 3, lane number 2 is gonna be the building in the middle. Lane number 1 is gonna be the far end of the map. That's the opposite side, obviously. So another thing is that I use tracker. I love using tracker as a stealth player. You know, this is just beneficial for me. So I'm obviously seeing the footsteps here. So I'm going to go ahead and follow. I know there's a guy literally behind me. Obviously, the hit marker signifies what direction I got shot from. So if you guys didn't know that as well, the hit marker has some significance to it. So if you see the red damage here, then likely the opponent was from your left side, and then so on and so forth. So I wanted to chase this guy. I popped my dead silence as well because I'm thinking 10 steps ahead of the enemy. I don't want him to hear my footsteps. I know he's right on my tail. I switched to my combat knife because I know that is going to allow me to run a little bit faster. So as you see there, we did a bit of finessing, as I like to say. So obviously, he's going to be coming around the corner, coming out the door, trying to figure out where I'm going, right? But what I did is I actually went around. I made a big circle, pre-aimed, because I knew exactly where he was going to be. I heard his footsteps. So in that situation, you have to do some really quick thinking. That's something that you're probably going to learn over time as you start playing the game a little bit more. It takes more than knowing the maps. You need to learn. They call it game sense. Okay, it's like a instinct or whatever. So I got my UAV. I noticed the ping on my minimap, so it's kind of self-explanatory there. So the reason why I'm directing my attention in this area is because for a couple of reasons. We have our UAV and then my teammates are over here. So this is how you sort of predict where the enemy is coming from, regardless of the minimap not showing the enemy when they're firing their weapon. So if your teammates are in this general area of the minimap, then we can assume that the opponents are going to be on the opposite end. So always use that as a baseline to kind of give yourself a sense of direction of like, I need to make a decision now. Which way should I go, or which way should I turn my attention in? So that's just a little quick tip there as well. So let's go ahead and resume the video here. So pre-aiming, you notice I pre-aim a lot. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this game has very fast TTK. So I'm going to be like chilling here for a while because I know exactly how fast you can die in this game if I were to just push that and then, I'm just going to get destroyed by someone who's camping on the other end of the building. Now, I did notice a red ping here, right? So watch the minimap right there. I waited for the UAV sweep as well because I'm well aware that this area in front of me is where the enemy is likely to be at, as well as spawn. So us having a UAV, I wanted to be a little bit more patient. And, just because you have a UAV doesn't mean it's going to be your right to go ahead and start rushing aggressively. Because I'm not sure if it's just me. This is not confirmed, but I feel like the UAV sweep is giving you delayed information. So that's why it's best to stay cautious if you want to get your streaks, which is what my goal is. So there you go. We were able to get the kill there. We stayed patient. So I'm seeing more pinging on the minimap here. Teammate took him out. I'm going to rotate. So I'm actually going to put my volume down a little bit here because this actually was a live gameplay for my M4 video. So I'm basically saying that we really got to move. We really got to move. Yes, we do. Because when you're holding an area down, a specific area such as this zone right here, and you're getting kills repeatedly over and over again, it's always a good idea to keep it moving because eventually, people are going to catch on to where you're at and then they're going to try and get you. All right. So another thing that you do want to take note of is how I position myself along the maps. I don't run through the middle. I always stick to the outskirts. Notice how close I am to the outskirts of the map. And I was able to basically, from the outside looking in, I was able to pick off that guy. So when you do see the sniper glint, you got to beware. You got to beware. You got to make sure you avoid that at all costs. So I went ahead and actually turned my dead silence on here because I don't want any potential opponents who are in the area that came through that I wasn't aware of, knowing where I am. Sorry, that's a really long sentence, but hopefully that made sense. So I need one more for my stealth bomber. I was able to get it. So it was pretty simple, actually. Notice how I keep going back and forth. I check this line of sight right here. Points of entries, lines of sight. As you can see, there's an opponent right there. Let's see if we take out this guy. Yes, we do. And every time I get a kill, I'm always moving. I'm in the same general area, but I'm never in the same exact spot, if that makes sense. Notice how I keep moving. I'm going to check lines of sight, pre-aim. Okay, keep my position moving. I want to keep the opponent guessing. Pre-aiming. Yeah, you can never be too safe. Just going to patrol this. Oh, wait. So I thought I actually heard somebody or saw somebody below me, but I think it was like a graphical glitch or something like that. But I'm watching these stairs. I'm hearing footsteps. I think that's my teammate below me. I definitely need some ammo, though. So, yes, I made a good point. I need ammo. Okay? So here's where it gets a little risky. It's either A, I just wait for someone to come to me, or B, I play a little bit more aggressive. So you'll see what I do here to do that. And let's see how it plays out. So, of course, before I come outside, I'm going to pre-aim. It's kind of like walking across the street. You got to check left and right. So again, wherever I'm aiming my gun, it's not random, guys. Like it's definitely where it needs to be. I'm going to check here and I'm going to check here as well. Why? Because these are points of entry. Get used to that. If you're not used to it, then you got to make it a habit. Go into a private match, play on several maps, and just get used to it if you're really that serious. Okay, again, pre-aiming. So I like sticking to the outskirts of the map because look at this mini map right here. Look behind me, it's all red. That means that there's no way opponents can be there behind me. So I can focus my attention all in this area right here. It's all about the process of elimination. That's how I like to play the game. So if I get rid of certain elements that are potentially going to be against me, then my probability of surviving gets that much higher. Okay, again. Let's back this up. That doesn't mean we're safe. Yeah, I said it doesn't mean we're safe. Pre-aim here. And then here's also where you want to pre-aim as well. But fortunately, we were able to take this guy out. And I slowly faded back just to be sure there wasn't another opponent that's gonna, pop out. And this guy right here, I got lucky. I think he's going for some mounted kills or something like that. But anyways, it was a gift. So I actually saw this guy on the corner of my eye. This was actually like really, really unfortunate situation right here. So as soon as I called in my dead silence, there was a guy like right here. I knew I saw him. I came back. Tried to go for the challenge, and obviously he destroyed me. So, yeah, you hear the reaction there. We're pretty much just trying to regain position. Now, obviously, I don't know if you saw the kill feed there. The opponent is actually popping off right now. They have a AC-130 up there in the sky. The best course of action to do right now is to call in our streaks, our stealth bomber. We might as well, while we're taking cover, kill two birds with one stone. I'm not even sure if it's going to destroy the AC-130. I highly doubt it. I don't think so, but it wouldn't hurt to try anyway. To get a few kills, stop their momentum. And like I was saying before, momentum is everything in this game, guys. And I'm not talking about like speed-wise. I'm talking about just flow, just focus. So when you get in the zone, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's why we called in that streak, just to be able to keep that momentum going. Now, I did see some pinging going on the minimap. If we... go ahead and rewind it here. So I'm in this area again because, like I said, I came into this match with the intention of holding down this area just so you guys can see how I do it. This is a very good position right now anyway. We've got high ground here, and we got a good vantage point of their spawn. As you can see, the UAV sweep showed us that the opponents are here to confirm it. And also, our teammates are here, this general area. So that must mean that they are going to be spawning here. Now, one thing I do want to point out is I am well aware that we have triple capped. All right. So obviously, it's out of my control if my teammates want to triple cap. That's not really up to me. But I would prefer, if you're playing in a party, to only capture the C and B flag or the A and B flag, either or. Don't triple cap, because if you triple cap, that provides a lot more confusion and you don't know where the opponent's going to spawn in from. But thankfully, our teammates are positioned over here. So that's where I personally knew where I should be directing my attention to. Like I said, remember, they spawned in here. So I was able to get this guy. So also, if you notice, I did pop my dead silence and I'm sticking to the outskirts of the map. If I am putting myself in positions such as this, then that eliminates the whole possibility of an enemy, getting me unsuspectingly from an angle that I'm not aware of. So that's the whole point of sticking to the outskirts of the map. That's why you hear myself and maybe some other YouTubers you watch when they give tips and tricks to do that. So again, in this spot right here, look at where I'm positioned. I'm positioned behind this car. I'm not in front of it. I'm not to the side. I'm behind it. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to use objects to your advantage in this game. This will protect my body. It will give me an ample chance at survival should I, have issues with the gunfight. So I'm going prone here because I want to reload safely, as well as calling my UAV. UAV is telling us, look at the minimap, where the opponent is. Now, I wasn't even sure if this dude heard me, but it doesn't hurt to be safe. That's why I'm pre-aiming while I'm walking down sight. Okay. Then I quickly get the kill, jump out. I notice the other guy pinging as well. I think he's going for some camos. That's why he keeps going back to that spot. Maybe some long shots, whatever. I don't know. We've all done that. I've personally been through that. But hey, if you're going to keep showing up to the same spot, I'm taking a mental note. I'm going to keep getting you if you want to keep going back to those spots. Rewind it in this situation right here. So I'm pre-aiming. Look at the minimap. This is what I was talking about. I felt like there's a lag when you call in your UAV. So the opponent is showing up right here behind this corner. But like, look what's happening in front of me right here. This basically confirms why you got to be patient. You got to not assume. You got to not rush just because you have a UAV up on the minimap. Doesn't mean that, you know, they're going to be exactly right there. This basically confirms what I was saying. Why is the minimap, the dot here, but then the opponent's literally in front of my face? So you got to be ready for the unexpected at all times. All right. So again, using the stim shot, one of my favorite tacticals in the game. I love using stim shot. It just helps me recover as fast as I possibly can, just so I can get on with, you know, my strategy, what I'm doing. So again, pre-aiming. This guy comes back once again. That's why it's very important in this game to be well aware. Spatial awareness, I guess, is the right term here. Because if you're not aware of your position, you know, where you're at on the map, then there's a higher probability that someone like me is going to go ahead and kill you. So another thing too, another nice little quick tip that no one really talks about is, yes, I talk about all the time pre-aiming, you know, down lines of sight, you know, points of entry, etc., right? Well, if I was a viewer and I was going to take that information and, you know, do that, then you would literally be doing it everywhere. And that's not really ideal, right? So in this situation, you see me just, you know, jump out like, you know, like I have no care in the world. I'm running around the corner, not really pre-aiming here. Main reason why is because I know where my teammates are. My teammates are here and I'm occupying this area and there's no enemies. And my teammates, you know, are pretty much like in this area right here. So that kind of gives me a confirmation that, hey, it's safe. They're not engaging in a gunfight right now. So I can just move freely. I can get from point A to point B faster without having to do all that ADS stuff. Obviously, it's, you know, good measure to do it. But that just kind of like, that's a waste of a step, in my opinion, towards your overall goal. And keeping that flow, keeping that momentum, you know. So you don't really need to do it in that situation back there. But here, obviously, you do. Because you have your teammates here. Obviously, there's going to be no enemies here. But now you have this area in front of you that they're not watching. They're clearly not watching it. So it goes back to the basics. This is where you restart the whole strategy. Look at where I'm at. Okay? Look at where I'm looking at. I'm from the outside looking in. So we did see an opponent there. We saw him again. And I was able to get that guy. So I'm going to try to rotate over here now to get high ground. But I heard this guy's footsteps. So you got to think quick. You got to make sure you are ready. You're aware audio wise. You know, wear some headphones. Those definitely help out in this game tremendously because of how loud the footsteps are in that situation. So I actually kind of do want to break this down just a little bit more. So if I had to continue to gone up that ladder and I completely ignored these footsteps, even though I had zero clue that he was going to go after me, the fact that I heard the footsteps, like, and I decided to just get ready regardless and not have myself be open to attack from behind where I'm absolutely vulnerable. You know, I decided to be safe about it. I jumped off. There he is. Pre-aim. Take him out. Boom. Now we got our second stealth bomber in the game. And we're doing a really good job of staying alive so far. And that's literally the whole point. Why I purposely played this way. I pretty much exaggerated a lot of the things that I teach you guys, so you guys can see it firsthand, like how, you know, you can accomplish this. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of skill level you are, as long as you apply basic map knowledge, mini map knowledge, game sense, and you know, this is exactly what I'm actually saying in the game live right now. Is you know, how you should be playing this game. You should be playing tactical. You know, play with a strategy. Don't rush around like an idiot. That's how you die. Exactly. Don't rush around like an idiot. That's just the whole cold, inconvenient truth, basically, because of the fast time to kill in this game. Like, you gotta be very, very aware. But obviously, the more that you play this game, the more game time you get. Like, the more things will come to you like second nature. Like, you know, you're not really going to be thinking too hard about things. It's just going to become like a, you know, a muscle memory at that point in time. So at this point, I decided, you know what, let's just triple cap because the game is almost over. Let's just get it over with. and you know, finish off the match. So again, same rules apply here. Pre-aiming. Why am I pre-aiming here? Look at my teammates. One here, and one here. Okay, that leaves this area open. And look, they're capturing A right now. Probability that they're going to be on this area of the map, very high. So we are going to pre-aim because I don't know exactly where they're going to come in from. But the fact that we're doing what we're supposed to do in this kind of situation, we're going to be ready regardless. So I'm pre-aiming. Pre-aiming around the corner. Pre-aim, pre-aim, pre-aim. You hear it all the time, guys. Checking left, checking right. Like I said, it's like crossing the street. You got to make sure it's safe before you get out there. Now, I see a teammate right here just chilling. He's got this line of sight covered. Obviously, if someone were to pass by, like an enemy, then he would have opened fire. So the fact that there isn't tells me that, okay, this must be safe. This must be safe to cross. So again, you see me rotating around the opposite end of the map. So earlier, I was patrolling one end of the map, which was lane 3. Now I'm in lane 1. Now the reason why is because there wasn't much activity going on in that area, so I figured, you know what, I think let's rotate. You know, the game is almost over. Let's try and get as many kills as we possibly can before it ends, because why not? So again, I'm sticking to the outskirts of the map. That means no enemies can go from behind me and kill me, but I'm pre-aiming here. My focus is all here now. Eliminates all kinds of randomness. So I'm going to get some high ground here just so I can see a bigger picture of what's going on. The higher you are, obviously, the more area you see. But my terrible aiming didn't allow me to get this kill, unfortunately. If I had an extended mag on, that guy would have been dead 100%. But look what I did here. I kept it moving. I didn't try and pursue that guy because, you know what? I've got his attention. I missed my shots. That's on me. That's my fault. The fact that he knows where I'm at now is a problem. That's why I went ahead and rotated to switch my position. I want to keep the enemy guessing. That's the whole point. Now, one final thing that I do want to point out here is look where I'm at. This is actually something you should not be doing because I'm exposing myself right here to the enemy spawn. They now have the A flag here. And our teammates are all over here, which means that the enemy is more likely going to be in this area. So just watch what happens next. Bro, where they at? Boom. I died right away to an enemy that was like right here. So that's a pretty good example of why you need to pay attention to the minimap, where you are, where your teammates are, and how it all relates to, you know, your overall success in the end. So I think this is the end of the match here. So I just want to clarify too, the reason why I did that was again because the game was almost finished and I just wanted to get a couple more kills. I figured, you know what, why not? Let's play a little bit more aggressive. So we got the W there. We finished off with 28 kills and there was actually only 2 people that ended up on the other team, but one guy actually popped off here. So shout out to him. But anyways, that's besides the point. Guys, if you guys did enjoy this breakdown video, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. I'm always listening to your guys' feedback. That's why these videos keep reappearing in your feed. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up as well. You know, it costs absolutely nothing and it helps me out as a content creator. Helps get my channel out there, helps more people learn, you know, these tactics, you know, that aren't talked about enough. Aiming to do this every Tuesday, guys. I'll have something for you. And if you are new watching this video, make sure to check out my previous videos. Link down below in the description is very similar to this where I break down gameplays and they will have different situations, how to adapt to those situations, and they're on different maps as well. So it's very interesting stuff, man. I know it's a lot to take in, but with each video, the goal is for you guys to learn something new each and every time. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.